Welcome to today's digital lesson, Class 9th, Section C. Before we look at the text, think about a difficult question. How do we remember someone we have lost, especially when we can no longer picture their physical face? We are going to explore this question through Rabindranath Tagore and his lyric poem, I Cannot Remember My Mother. The speaker begins with a specific claim, I cannot remember my mother. Yet immediately after saying he cannot remember her, he describes her presence vividly. We have a conflict between literal forgetting and a deeper figurative memory. To understand how the speaker's mind is working, we can look to Sigmund Freud's early theories on the psychology of human memory. Freud suggested that memory is divided. The memories we can easily recall live in our active awareness, while deeper emotional connections hide out of sight. This diagram illustrates the mind as an iceberg. The top tip, representing the conscious mind, handles current awareness, like a child engaging with toys. Below the surface lies the subconscious. The clear details of the mother's face are gone, but a vast reservoir of maternal memories remains submerged here. The memory of the mother is not lost. It has simply migrated into this subconscious space, where it waits for a specific sensory trigger to awaken it. This image displays the text of the first stanza, taking us into the presentation phase of our lesson to look at auditory memory. The poem opens with the child deeply engaged in conscious, active play. His attention is entirely focused on his physical playthings. Then, a subconscious tune interrupts his playtime. The rhythm of a specific song pulls him away from his toys and back to the sensation of being rocked in a cradle. Sound acts as a direct line to the past. The auditory imagery of the hum bypasses his conscious focus, serving as an anchor that pulls the child into a submerged feeling of safety. We see a similar shift in the second stanza. Here, the sensory trigger changes from auditory to olfactory, the sense of smell. Tagore roots this memory in a specific physical environment, an early autumn morning in rural Bengal. In the cool air, the distinct aroma of shiuli flowers floats toward the speaker. This specific scent acts as a conduit, instantly accessing an emotional memory. The speaker connects the natural scent of the flowers directly to the incense and offerings of the morning temple service. By merging the scent of autumn blossoms with the sanctity of the temple, the mother's presence takes on a dual nature. She is tied to the physical earth, yet elevated to something sacred. Let's pause for a moment of active recall. The speaker has experienced sound and smell. As he looks out his bedroom window in the final stanza, predict which sense will be triggered next. Looking at the third stanza, we now see the shift to visual and spatial imagery. Notice the drastic spatial change occurring here. The poem moves from the microspace of an intimate bedroom out into the macrospace of the distant sky. The mother's gaze is no longer localized to a specific physical face. Instead, the stillness of her look has spread across the entire blue expanse above him. This spatial leap shows a complete transformation. She has evolved from a physical entity in a single room into a vast protective presence encompassing his entire world. Let's return to the core paradox from the beginning of our lesson, the speaker's repeated claim that I cannot remember my mother. The contradiction makes sense now. He cannot consciously picture her specific facial features because her identity has diffused into his total environment. This chart summarizes the mechanics of the poem. The cradle's hum, the shiuli scent, and the cosmic sky act as three distinct sensory triggers that access the deeper subconscious mind. Through these specific sensory details, the mother remains an active, enduring atmosphere rather than a forgotten piece of the past. This brings us to the formal assignment stage, shown on the bottom row of our digital lesson plan framework. Follow the URL on your screen to complete your formative assessment quiz on sensory imagery. As you work through the quiz, remember that poetry and literature give us the exact vocabulary we need to articulate the complex workings of human psychology.